Hey, Channel Surfers, it's just Lauren today. Mama C is out doing the Lord's work, kind of like Keanu was doing in the Big Brother house, at least according to some of the house guests that aren't on the block. I don't know, it turned kind of devilish, didn't it? D is holding down the office. We got some work to get done, and I'm here to spit some Big Brother with you. This was a good episode, and I'm going to try this format a little bit different than I normally do. I've prepared for this episode, season 27, episode 25, the veto, like I would prepare for trial. I kid. Preparing for trial is much different. The only similarity is I have a list of topics I want to hit on. Speaking of format changes, we're going to go to 2 nights a week on Big Brother. On Sunday, we'll recap Sunday's episode, as well as Big Brother Internet Chatter. We'll kind of talk about spoilers. We will give fair warning before we start talking about it. I will put timestamps, as I always do, into my episodes, so you can stop listening at that point if you want to be spoiler-free. We've done pretty good being spoiler-free, but it's getting really hard. Then on Thursdays, we will cover the Wednesday and the Thursday episodes. There are some changes in Big Brother's schedule. Like the first week of September, completely normal, but it's about to get bonkers. I'm talking like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday episodes. 2-hour episodes is on Wednesdays and Thursdays. With those changes, especially us being East Coast, it probably would have resulted in something like today, where we are dropping the episode early on Thursday and then dropping a second episode later on Thursday. So let's just combine it all into one, add in the fun of some BB spoilers, and that will be the new format. Also, there's a lot of fun things coming out in September that we want to cover. And considering we still are representing people and want to continue to represent people in federal court, we got to be smart with our time. 3-day a week Big Brother, Sunday nights, Thursday nights. I'm aiming for 11/11 drop if I finish the edit by then. If not, it will still come that night. It might just be a tiny bit later, like on the night that it starts at 10 o'clock and it's an hour and a half episode. I'm going to need a little time to edit that. So we've got a lot to get into today. Let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
New Channel Surfers, this is Remote Reality. I'm your host, Lauren, typically joined by Mama C or D. But like I said, they got better stuff to do today. And if you haven't hit the like, subscribe, follow, make sure you stay up to date on our drops. I'm trying to make them more consistent, at least like the same time every week. So like I said, we're going to try the 11/11 slot. It's a lucky number. We see it a lot. Do you guys see 11/11 a lot? Just us? Who sees 11/11 a lot? What do you think it means? It probably means I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing, like playing Monopoly Go at 11/11 and I look at the clock, or taking a lunch break. So it's a lot of ones. It's fun. Anyway, now, was anybody motivated by Rachel's BB workout? Like, should I start doing this at home? Should I start following my husband around room to room, just like looking at him like, look at you playing Minecraft, or chasing him up the stairs to work out these legs? I need a good workout. Should I roll my eyes at my 4-year-old a lot? Get those eye rolls in? If Keanu was here, we know he'd be good. That was hilarious. Although in situations outside of the Big Brother house, he's super creepy. So I might try it and report that. But that was a cute little segment with Rachel showing these newbies how to get a great exercise when your kids aren't around and you're in the Big Brother house and you've got a game to play and strategy to be had, and there are plenty ways to work those glutes, girl. Now, even stranger than this workout would be in real life is this question that I kept asking myself while watching the Veto episode. Why does Keanu trust Vinny so much? He put him on the block to teach him a lesson, but is the crying working? Keanu has now flipped. He is ready to take poor Vinny off the block. I feel like you're letting the man cry his way off the block. Keanu starts looking for accomplices. He goes up to Lauren and Kelly and asks them to use the veto on Vinny if they win. Now, Lauren, she's easy to convince. Kelly, says, okay. But in Diary Room, she doesn't think that's best for her game, and she's not playing Keanu's game. So at least she's keeping that clear. But why? Why does he trust Vinny so much? Or is it one of those situations like Rachel, where Vinny is a big target and it will keep the target off of Keanu? I just don't get it. He has screwed Keanu over 3 times. Let him learn his lesson. Don't succumb to the weenie crying game. Now, before the veto, Mickey makes a good point. She's feeling pretty safe with Vinny and Morgan on the block beside her. She doesn't think she's going home in that situation. She also doesn't know about the judges' alliance, which I'm still not totally convinced that that's a true alliance. I feel like everybody in this house is aligned for when it best suits them. Like if they need to make an argument that we're aligned and make someone feel bad, behind everyone's back. Like nobody's saying it to their faces. But if they want to try to guilt trip someone into keeping them, then all of a sudden they remember their alliance. But if it's not best for their game, whatever, it's my game. This is the most wish-washy game of Big Brother. And I was thinking about this. The only true alliance I would say is in this house at this point, what I would consider an alliance are Ashley, Rachel, and Will. Ava, I would have kind of put her in that group, but she is getting through this house without talking game. She is playing for herself. That was evidenced by her HOH. And then in this episode, Rachel goes up to Keanu and suggests her name as a possible replacement nom, which that was really disappointing because you had a final 2. So when I think alliance, I think people that have each other's backs, that are going to vote for that person, regardless of how the house is voting. They're going to consider their alliance members' games. How do we stay in it and keep going week to week? They're going to strategize together. A lot of people have temporary versions of this. Okay, Keanu and Rachel are cool at the beginning of the week, but where do we end up by the end of the episode? But alliance sticks with each other. So what do you think? Are there any alliances that you see in the house that you would consider a true alliance? People that truly have each other's back week to week? Like, even with Vinny and Morgan, I feel like he'd throw her under the bus so fast. If he was going to stay, I don't feel like he is going to make decisions that are best for her game when he's HOH or take that into consideration. So yeah, that's all I've got. When I would consider these players really doing a Big Brother alliance, I would say we've got Rachel, Will, and Ashley. So channel servers, tell us what you think in the comments. When we go to pick for the power of veto, Keanu wants Lauren and Kelly to play because he believes that they will both take Vince off. But remember, at the start of this week, Keanu was telling Rachel, I'm gonna prove my loyalty. I'm gonna show you that I've got your back because I spread your name out through the house and you found out about it. I'm not even gonna put Ashley up, which he says he meant initially. And I can't remember. Did he say that super clearly to Rachel? I feel like he maybe went into the diary room and said that, but let me know. Did he say that to Rachel's face? Because that's not how Rachel or Ashley remember it, or Rachel and Ashley are just twisting it around and sticking to the story. I don't remember him going to Rachel and saying, I'm just keeping Ashley off the original list. So Lauren gets picked, and then Keanu picks the second poker chip, and it's House's choice. He picks Kelly. Rachel volunteered, and he still picked Kelly. That shows he doesn't trust Rachel. He's trying to earn her trust, but he doesn't even fully trust her, which might be a smart move. But it makes Rachel upset. She is not happy with this. She goes up to Keanu and is making sure that they're okay. He's asking why. She's wondering if they're okay. Oh, no, nothing. Just wanted to make sure we're still good. I volunteered to play in the veto and he didn't pick her. So he went with Kelly. That just shows where his loyalties lie. And that's got to be pretty scary for Rachel. Do I think at this point that Keanu is going to have this big redemption week with Rachel? No, that was his mistake. Right there would have been enough to have Rachel wavering. She's still wavering even with that first gesture he made by not putting her or Ashley up. She's still questioning it. I feel like he took 2 steps forward and 10 steps back. So I don't think Keanu is thinking everything through. Again, he's the brawn, not the brains. Mickey feels pretty good about her position. on the block against Vinny and Morgan. She feels like she would have the votes to stay, and she's considering not even using the veto at all, which is such an interesting twist because I feel like she was the number one target, and maybe it's that shield's defense. Maybe the bigger the target is painted, we're getting to the point where it makes more sense to take out the stronger players that don't have targets. So we go to the veto competition, and there's an appearance from Angela from Big Brother 26. Full disclosure, I did not watch Big Brother 26. Mama C did. I just know that when we knew a house guest was coming into the house, she was hoping it was not Angela. I know she likes charcuterie. Who doesn't? So channel surfers, let me know. What did y'all think of Angela? What's the tea? What the heck happened? Because I'm already on board with the charcuterie. Although she'd probably be really pissed if I ate it. No sharing. My kind of person, though. It's okay. I'd share. Probably need to be on that slop diet and Rachel Riley workout anyway. And much to Keanu's disappointment, even though he feels he has a house of players playing Big Brother to save Vinny, Morgan wins and takes herself off the block. This was worst case scenario. This was Keanu's target, and she's gone. She is gone. He's got to replace her seat. Who's going to warm Morgan's seat? So we've got discussion. There aren't many choices. We hear that so many times this episode. Not a lot of choices. Basically, it all boils down to Ava or Ashley. And again, I find myself questioning why Vinny is in such good graces with Keanu. Because I'll tell you what, if he got to the end and it was Morgan and Keanu, he'd take Morgan with him. Vinny would. And if Vinny got to the end and it was Vinny and Lauren, he would take Lauren with him to the end. Vinny knows that Keanu is a strong player, but he also knows, apparently, that he can cry and play on his emotions. And Keanu will just crumple over like a piece of paper. Would you trust Vinny if you were Keanu? I wouldn't. He's already stabbed you in the back 3 times. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Ashley tells Keanu, you probably don't want to consider me, hun, because it's not going to make Rachel happy. You're not just going to piss me off and make me target you. You're going to piss her off. So Keanu considers that. And then Rachel, in her wisdom, comes up with a strategy. She's always thinking 2 steps ahead. Let's cook Vinny. I'm just kidding. Let's not cook Vinny. Let's cook a delicious dinner for Keanu. Let's butter him up. Let's go all out. Treat this man like a king, and then go talk a little gameplay with him once he's got a nice full belly and he's sitting up in the HOH, chilling, laying back, listening to some good music, all in his comfort zone, belly full of good food. Let's go upstairs and drop the name Lauren. Why aren't we considering Lauren? You say that there's only 2 options, Ashley or Ava, but there's a Lauren in the house. What about her? We probably could get the votes to get rid of her too. She's indecisive. She does not make decisions for herself. So when you play with Lauren, you don't really know what game you're playing because she's not playing her own game. She might be playing Vinny's game that week. She might be playing Morgan's game that week. You don't know whose game she's playing, which is way more dangerous than somebody laying it out there, telling it like it is, and going for what they see as best for their game. Somebody playing the game week to week for other players, it's such an oddball. You don't know where that target's going to land. And Keanu says, yeah, that's a good point. I'll think about it. And he should have thought a little harder because that sounded like a really good idea, Rachel. Rachel, who has one big brother, is giving you solid advice. And then I go back to the why are we trusting Vinny so much? Because Keanu starts talking to Vinny and coming up with this plan where this is crazy, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to tell Morgan to use the veto on you, and then we'll tell her that we're going to put up Lauren. But we're not. No, we're not. No, we're going to put up Ashley. Totally blindside her. In what world is blindsiding Morgan a good idea for your game? Unless you're really hoping that she still gets voted out, which, yeah, that definitely could be a possibility. But then you're also pissing off Rachel and Ashley in the meantime. You're already in trouble for floating Rachel's name out there last week. You tell Rachel, I'm going to earn your trust this week. I'm going to keep Ashley safe because I know that's good for your game. And then you're like, fuck it. Let's just put her up on the block. In what world? And we're doing this for Vinny because Vinny has come crying to you because he has soaked your shoulder with his Mario brother tear. You think you're getting the one up? But dude, you're about to fall into that dang lava and Bowser's gonna eat you like some lava chicken from Minecraft. Keanu, at least you're pretty and a good competitor. And at this point, I just don't get it. I don't get the Vinny allegiance. Now, interestingly, there's so many limited choices. We do not hear Will's name once. Not one person puts Will's name in their mouth. We hear the word Ava. We hear Ashley. We hear Rachel. Will is straight up like a ghost in this house. Nobody sees him. He's there, though. He's real. He's playing. Maybe it's the edit, but not even a consideration. He got put up that one time on the block. He told them he didn't respect that decision. He has been playing this fatherly role, listening to the house guests. Okay, listening. That's funny. Pretending to listen to the house guests, making them feel heard, making them feel like they have a sounding board, which interestingly was Rachel's strategy going in. They had the same strategy. Rachel is a Big Brother winner. She is a Big Brother queen. And Will is flawlessly executing the parent strategy. And I have to wonder if he is saving his power for later in the game. This man was in the armed forces. He might not be working out with the bros, but I feel like after decades of service, that lifestyle becomes ingrained in you to a certain extent. I feel like he could memory recall and kick their butts if he needed to. He's only in he's in good shape. I think Will is holding back, but he is, that's my player. He's my Gamecock. He would be so excited. The Gamecocks won their first football game on Sunday and Clemson lost theirs. Okay, I digress. We love you, Will. And I was over the moon that your name was not mentioned at all. Now, Rachel decides to take a more direct approach with Keanu. Keanu, I can't have Ashley going on the block. And Keanu says, well, she's not going to go home. I don't care. I've played this game 3 times. I have won it. Apparently, you know it all, Keanu, but I don't want to take that risk. I can't take that risk for my game. And Keanu keeps going back on, well, I told you I wouldn't put her up originally. I didn't say that I wouldn't put her up at all. He's not going to tell her what she wants to hear, but she lets him know that there could be adverse consequences, that he is trying to earn her trust. And when they leave that conversation, Keanu says, if I'm going to break this allegiance with Rachel, might as well go ahead and get it done. Which in my mind means that he's putting Rachel on the block. And I'm thinking that would be a power move. Put Rachel up. Then again, I don't think she'd go home. You've got Mickey and Vinny on the block. You throw Rachel up there, and then either if Mickey comes down, I think absolutely Mickey votes to keep Rachel. If Vinny comes down, Vinny votes to get rid of Rachel. So those are your wild cards after the BB blockbuster. Eva, Rachel, Ashley, Rachel, Will, Rachel. Actually, Morgan and Vinny might vote to keep Rachel too because of the Judges Alliance. So putting Rachel up really isn't a great strategy. But then again, Morgan is also in the Judges Alliance that Keanu doesn't know about. So Morgan will have Rachel, Morgan, potentially Vinny, Will. So there's your 4. It might not be the power move that Keanu thinks it is, nominating Ashley. We get to the veto ceremony, and all I have to say is, Keanu, you were warned. Morgan uses the veto on herself. Even after Vinny and Keanu try to get her to look at something shiny and toss her veto over to Vinny, she goes to Rachel because she trusts Rachel as someone who won this game, which is also a very smart social move to go up to Rachel and say, Rachel, you're a queen. You know this game. What should I do with this? To make her feel like she has that power, to show that you respect her game. That was a very smart social move on Morgan's part. And Rachel's like, you just better make sure whoever goes up is going to leave the house. Morgan makes a wise decision. She's not pulling a Zach. She takes herself off. So Vinny, Mickey, and we plop Ashley down. Fair warning, Keanu. You were told more than once that this was not a good strategy. Maybe he thought he was playing this game with Catherine, Riley. There have been so many times this season where I've said the player needs to go up and air out the conversation that was had so that the house knows not to trust the HOH. They need to call them out on their shit. And that's exactly what Ashley does. Lawyer Ashley gets up there and litigates. She comes for Keanu. Keanu, you are a liar. You promised me safety this week. You went back on it. Keanu tries to go back on that. She says, no, you told Rachel. Let's call a witness. Your Honor, I've got a witness right here. May I approach? Witness, take the seat. Rachel, did Keanu say he was going to keep me safe? Rachel says, yeah, that's what I heard. And there you go. There's some evidence. She is laying out her case against Keanu. And then she starts attacking him, saying, you aren't the strong player that you think you are. You've got your best friend Vinny sitting on the block. Touche. That is true. She's just raw dogging him. And she makes it clear he is her target. She obviously feels very safe about staying in the house this week. And creating that target probably insulates her a little more to think, okay, now Keanu is going to go after Ashley. So we'll have this strong player going after a weak player. But she has the numbers, even if she ends up on the block. So we go into tonight's episode with Ashley, Vinny, and Mickey playing the BB blockbuster, and one is going home. So who do you think is going to win this BB blockbuster tonight when we're competing with Ashley, Vinny, and Mickey? Now, Vinny has won 2 HOHs. Mickey has won an HOH. Ashley hasn't won much yet, which Keanu says. He's like, I know I pissed Rachel off with this nomination, but she'll get over it. She knows she needs me in this house as much as I need her because we are both big targets. And Ashley, I might be worried about her being mad if she could win something. But what we've seen with the BB blockbusters, they're mostly puzzles. They require some strategy. And she's a lawyer. She solves puzzles, solves problems a lot. I'm not going to underestimate her. This is probably her chance to show herself. Vinny and Ashley are both in the Judges Alliance. So if Mickey removes herself, that may split the vote some. And with that in mind, Mickey would be playing for her life with this BB blockbuster. Mickey could win this. Vinny, he has done great at competitions. And to be honest, it was a hard choice for me between Mickey and Vinny and Ashley. That's a hard choice. The edge where I kind of gave this to Mickey is Vinny is a have-not for the week. So maybe that slaps me a little bit weak. I don't know that he is building muscle on the slop. I don't know that his brain is functioning or firing off like it normally would if he's hungry on the slop. So I'm going to say that Mickey wins. What do you think, channel servers? Now, let's pose another scenario. If you have Vinny and Ashley, who goes home? I think it's Vinny. If you have Ashley and Mickey, who goes home? I think it's Mickey. If you have Mickey and Vinny, who goes home? Even though we have the judges, Rachel knows it's going to be better to keep Mickey. This week, we saw Mickey still talking to Rachel like they were still in an alliance together. And we are starting to get down to where our alliances need to break off into smaller steps. But what do you think, channel servers? Do you think Ashley is safe regardless of who she's up against? Who could Ashley go home to? And alternatively, if it's Vinny and Mickey, who leaves the house tonight? We'll find out tonight. We'll see ya at 11:11, channel surfers. And remember, next week, we will have the Sunday and the Thursday Big Brother. And then this Sunday, we are going to announce our schedule moving into October. We know that Sister Wives is coming out. We are going to cover that. When Love is Blind comes out, I'm going to cover that. And we are on the fence. There's just so many good things, but we're going to talk about that. Mama C and I and Liz and figure out a strategy. Yes, I've pulled Liz into the conversation. She did have me watch Unknown Number, and I'm definitely dropping a podcast on that soon. That was wild. It's a documentary on Netflix. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up, get this episode out, and see you later tonight. Let's ride.